Okay, so second language acquisition. Okay, we are in the 11th or 12th class most probably, and second language acquisition phenomena started with the GTM, that is grammar translation method, and this is the oldest method, classical method, or you can say that it is the traditional method of English language teaching. After that, we have got that is direct method. In case of grammar translation method, we have learned that is translation will be used as a way of learning second language. After grammar translation method, we have got another method that is called direct method. No translation will be there. And then we have got audiolingual method, and then we have got the army method. Army method that came into discussion at the time of the Second World War. And this method actually goes up to 1960 decades. And after that, many persons had been thinking about second language theories, second language acquisition theories. What would be the phenomena? And in this regard, second language learning and acquisition would be quite similar to the first language acquisition. And then after 1960 decades, the theories, psychology, anthropology, all theories came into discussion that the language learning and acquisition should be incorporated with psychological theory, anthropological theories, human theories, and in this regard we have learned several theories of behaviorism, innatism, okay, some other theories, maturation theories. These are the theories. And in case of second language theories, in Monitor novel, we have learned that Stephen Caution has said that language learning is quite similar. The process, we digest our food. That means all people of the world, they learn language, they eat food in the similar way, they digest food in the similar way, and they have learned language in the similar way. And Stephen Krashen talked about comprehensible input, and that comprehensible input would be quite easy for understanding the second language. Noam Chomsky comes up with a similar idea, that is, second language acquisition will be similar, just like that. There are 7,000 languages in this world, and these 7,000 languages, there are some similarities among all the languages. It can be that the sentence structure is similar to all language, just like noun, verb, adjectives, object, subject will be there in all language. Okay? And this similarity, suppose we can make an analogy, that is, in every language there will be subject and object. It may be Italian, it may be French, it may be Hungarian, any language of this world. The subject pattern is similar. And we can have another analogy, that is, some languages, among 7,000 languages, some languages are very hard to understand or to learn. Some languages are easy to learn. And but the thing is that the easiest language can be learned by a child in a quite similar time. That means 1 to 2 years of their age they can learn a language. And even the hardest language, that means Chinese or Mandarin, that language can also be learned within the 2 years of their age. Why it happens? It happens that, as I have said earlier, that in every language there are some common pattern. That means noun, verb, adjective. This will be common in all languages. That is one pattern. And another pattern is that in human brain or in human mind, there is a pre-wired mechanism of language learning. Before universal grammar, every linguist, they thought that language learning is quite easy because every language will have some common or similar phenomenon. But Noam Chomsky said there are some mechanism in human brain. That mechanism helps everyone to learn his or her language. And this language sensitive portion is pre-wired, that means pre-innate in every human brain. And this system in human brain is a grammar sensitive portion of every human brain. It means that in every human brain there is a system. That system is very much concerned to learn the language. And that system is called UG, that means universal grammar. So it is a system, that is systems of categories, mechanism or constraints shared by all human languages and considered to be innate. So in one hand, there is a similarity among all languages, and in another hand, every human brain will have some system or mechanism that is innate to learn the language. So it is a system in every human brain that helps to learn the language. This is called universal grammar. So in every human being's brain, there is a mechanism or system that helps to learn the language. According to Noam Chomsky, it is called universal grammar. Why universal grammar? That means it is common to all human beings all over the world, and it is innate. And this universal grammar aims to solve the problem of every language. Okay. Suppose in every language there is a system, that is, we should say yes or no. Okay. So you will say, will you take this fruit? You can say yes, or you can say no. In every language you will say, that is question, what's your name? Who is that person? How are you? So every language there will have yes, no system. In every language there will be a question system. That means every language you will ask question to others. In every language you will have subject and object. So these are the common phenomena, and Noam Chomsky said that is the common features of all language, and we learn these common features of a language with the help of a mechanism that is in every human's brain, that is universal grammar. Okay. And in 1965, American linguist Noam Chomsky came up with this idea of what a response to behaviorist thinking at that time. And he proposed a theory known as the universal grammar, a nativist approach to linguistic development. Okay. So this is universal grammar. And Noam Chomsky offered this theory, that is, all language contains similar structure and rules. As we have said it earlier, that means yes, no, interrogation, subject, predicate, noun, verb, adjective. These are, every language contains similar structure and similar rules, and for this reason it is called universal grammar. In every language it is common, and in every human being there is a mechanism that will be sensitive to the grammar portion of every language. So it is not only the language phenomena, morphology and syntax. We will be discussing the rules of every language's structure, surface structure and deep structure. What was the contribution of Noam Chomsky? Noam Chomsky said, apart from the morphology, in every human brain there is a grammar sensitive portion. That means grammar portion of every language is innate in every human being, and that is universal grammar. Okay, and universal grammar is innate and it is helpful to learn the language. Okay, and he actually derived his idea. That means Noam Chomsky derived his idea based on this idea, that is rationalistic philosophers René Descartes, Claude Faber-D, Volges, and some other the theorists actually he talked about. And inspired by this theory, Chomsky focuses in a particular early efforts by the 17th century Port Royal grammarian, whose rationalistic approach to language and language universals was based on the idea that human is a civilized, in the civilized world, share the common thought structure. Okay, so this universal grammar is supported by the structuralist portion of a language, and same time the humanistic approach. The structuralist approach is that every language will have a grammar, similar grammar, yes, no, interrogative, and also it will have the portion that is noun, verb, adjective, that means surface structure and deep structure. And apart from that, Noam Chomsky said that the human brain contains a portion that will be helpful to learn the language, and this grammar portion of every human's brain is common, and for this reason it is called universal, and for this reason it is said universal grammar. Okay, so this universal grammar help us in such a way that how it will help us, and how it will help us to learn a language. It help us in such a way that if you know how to drive a car, you can drive a car in Bangladesh where you have to drive to the left side of the road, and if you know how to drive a car, you can drive a car in Saudi Arabia where they drive on the right side of the road. So the road is common to every countries, and if we know the rules, then you can drive everywhere. In the similar way, language structure and language grammar is common to all languages, and in every human brain there is a grammar sensitive portion that is quite similar to learn the language, and for this reason it would be helpful for learning the language, and that is UG, or universal grammar. Okay.